In the name of Lord Jesus Christ, we shall continue to study from the book of Ecclesiastes. So in the morning, we drew out the pattern. We drew out the pattern of chapter 1. That, as we say, that chapter 1 is more like the summary of the causes, the reasons. The causes why Solomon feels that life is empty, why life is full of vanity. So we mentioned about that. Number one, because life is like a never-ending float of water from upper stream to the lower stream, from the just like a floating of the water in the river, that it just keep on going, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. So number one, the problem is time. It could be, individually speaking, it could be aging. From a different perspective, in terms of the country, the kingdom, generation come, generation go. That's why you find that in the human history, many kings, rulers, emperors, that they putting so much effort looking for the eternal medicine, 长生不老药, like the things that you get to eat, and then you can be king forever. Okay, that even the Egyptian mummies, you all know about mummies. So what they do is that they take out the brain, they take out the entrail, the organs, they store it in a different jar, and then they mummify the body with the expectation, a hope that one day the soul or the spirit shall return to the mummy, and he can take the brain, take the organ, and just insert it, put it back, and then the resurrection, that they can come back to life and become the ruling pharaoh again. So you find this, you find the concept, hoping, doing anything possible, trying to live longer, trying to live forever. You find that throughout the human times, because people do not want to die. People do not want to age. People do not want to die. But still, that's an inevitable future for all. Okay, so we talk about the pattern, the main problem of King Solomon. So aging is one, unable to find satisfaction in life. Many things in life, but nothing really fills your heart. It fills your sensation. Okay, it might give you stimulation, but unfortunately, that the heart cannot be filled. Number three is facing the unchangeable reality. Okay? There are many things in life that you cannot change. You can be if a child were born with Down syndrome, I mean, as the loving parents, it doesn't matter how much you love them, it's an existing fact that you are unable to change. You had an accident, you lost a toe, you lost an arm, you lost a leg, or somehow as beautiful and handsome you are, accidentally you leave a long scar on your face. You live with it. I mean, of course, you can have lots of skin regeneration, UV light, whatever. But what I'm saying is, in life, there are so many things that you want to change, but you cannot. Okay, that's another problem that Solomon was facing. Okay? And lastly, we talk about knowledge. You have to remember what Solomon was talking about. He was saying those are the reality, the practical reality. There is no right, there is no wrong. That's how the world is. So lastly, he said that when you know too much, when your mind become complicated, then your life become more difficult. When you know a lot, when you think a lot, then naturally that your life become, your heart become more burdensome. For example, if you are right now at this moment, you are 6 months old, would you worry about the test tomorrow? No. Why? You would. What I'm saying is you wouldn't even know what is fear. I'm not sure if you saw a video on the Facebook that I think is in Grand Kenya. That a whole bunch of people like just standing around the cliff and look and take picture while there was a baby, infant, crawling at the edge of the cliff. And I guess the parents did not pay attention. The parents were unaware of it. Okay? So for you, I'm not sure if you ever stand at the edge of the cliff, especially if you have the fear of height. Try. Even like if you go to Empire State Building, you go to any of those high rise, even with the fence, the bar, even you are holding it, but leaning over give you a lot of fear, right? Not for the 6-month-old. You put the 6-month-old, you hanging over outside, only hold it with your arms. They will be giggling and having fun, without knowing that all the way down is 30 feet. They don't. So you have to remember in here, we are not talking about good or bad. In here, Solomon is not denying, or Solomon is not rejecting the value of knowledge. Okay? So do not take this verse and convince yourself, yeah, I should be illiterate. Why? Because when you increase in knowledge, you increase in sorrow. So tell your parents that this is why I don't study. Okay? Right? I don't want to be like Solomon. Okay? That's not what it is saying. Okay? And let me tell you, in this generation, that you don't study, that will probably bring you even more sorrow. Okay? The sorrow could be coming from your, from your parents, from your environment, and eventually you'll be from yourself. Because in here, Solomon is saying that when you contemplate, just like him, for people, most of the people, they just live day by day. But because Solomon was so deep in knowledge, plus having too much time on hand, okay? Life is too easy. Life is too good. So he has a lot of time to think, to contemplate, to trying to think about what is the meaning. So when you have a lot of these questions about the meaning of life, then eventually you end up like King Solomon. From the book of Ecclesiastes, it does portray a problem of King Solomon, that the life is too good. Too much time on hand. If Solomon was a farmer, he need to leave the house by 5, till the ground, until 3 in the afternoon, and then walk another hour and a half, like many of our members in Africa. Now, I don't think he has the energy to think about what is the meaning of life. That's why you will find in Ecclesiastes, it keep on telling you, work hard. Work hard. Not telling you not to think about the meaning of life, but if you just sit there and like a philosopher, you think there and keep on questioning what is the meaning of it, of all this. I mean that if you just spending your entire life upon what is the meaning, then let me tell you that there is no meaning. Only until when you get up, you walk out, you do some change with your hand, then you start finding the meaning. Okay? But anyway, so that's the reason I keep on repeating chapter 1, because that's more like the summary, okay? The summary of the Ecclesiastes. Now let's go to chapter 2. Chapter 2. Okay, in chapter 2, now we want to drill deeper. Okay? Remember in chapter 1 that King Solomon said, the heart cannot be satisfied. Cannot. That the food cannot satisfy me. The music cannot satisfy me. Anything immaterial cannot satisfy the yearning, the need of the heart. So what do we find in here? In chapter 2, verse 1, I say to my heart that I test you with mirth. Therefore, I enjoy pleasure. Okay? So it begins by pleasure. So Solomon wants to do a test. As we say, Solomon is looking for something, some way that can fulfill the emptiness. Okay? He was looking for something, some way to fulfill that void, fulfill the emptiness. And he began with enjoyment. Enjoyment. So he feels that if I can make my heart glad, if I can make my heart glad by giving whatever the heart desires. So now the question, if you get to make a wish, what is that you want? What is that you? What is that? If you get to make a wish, and one thing that you get to receive for free, what would you want to have? What would you like to have? A tire. Okay. Yeah. You know what? If today you are giving, if Elon Musk just happened to randomly draw your name from Instagram, and Elon Musk wrote you an email say, well, what do you want? You can get one thing for free. What would you like to have? Isaac, what would you like to have? A house, a property. Okay, that's not a bad choice. Depends on where. Because somewhere, if you go to Alaska, one house is cost like what, $35,000? Good choice. Depends on where. You have to make sure that you specify where. Okay. Vancouver is fine. Tokyo is good. New York, make sure that it's Manhattan. Okay. So make sure that you are more specific, so that Elon Musk will not say, "Oh, Africa." Okay. You know what? Real estate. Yeah, that's not a bad choice. What else? What else do you want? Anything? What is it? His company. You mean Twitter, the one that's about to collapse? Okay. And then I think he would just give you this, the signal is not very clear. I think I'm losing you. And then just hung up. Okay? So you know what? There are many things that we desire. Perhaps that's what you are doing right now. Pursue for a brighter, a greater, a more enjoyable future. Okay? Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. In fact, you should. According to the Bible, that you should work hard. You should work hard. So I have to say that in your generation, we are seeing a concerning pattern that the younger generation does not work as hard. We don't know why. There might be many reasons contribute to that. We are finding a lot of younger generation, they hide themselves behind the computer or video games. So we even, you know what, I never heard of it until the recent year. I never ever heard a TJC youth drop out of school because gaming too much. Never, ever, until the recent years. Couldn't believe it when I heard it. Couldn't believe it. Gaming, in my perspective, gaming is not a problem. When I was young, I gamed too. Even today, I still tell my son to game. I got no problem. I have no problem having my son gaming. The problem is not gaming. The problem is if you are able to exercise self-control. So, in our perspective, in my perspective, that if you are unable to be the master of your life, control your time, know when to start, know when to end, know what is more important, know what is least important. When you are unable to be the master of your time or the master over gaming, then at least in my perspective, you are. No, I cannot use mean words. Yeah, if it's 10 years ago, I would say something very mean. But I can't because young generation is more tender. Yeah. Anyway, so you know what? Now, forget about what I said earlier because that's another topic. That's another topic. Okay, so let's go back to chapter 2 that we focus upon. If you try to find pleasure, like in the future you want big house, you want nice car, okay? Drive a Lamborghini down from the street, boom, 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 so everybody turn around and look at you. So you know what? If that's what you are seeking, Solomon never say that you shouldn't. He never say that you are wrong. Just like in here, I would never tell you that you want to live in a good house, driving a good car. I would never tell you that's wrong. I would never tell you that. But I want to tell you, if you want to find fulfillment, satisfaction by the stimulation, then eventually you will only find disappointment. That's what Solomon tried to tell you. Be there, done that. Boring. Okay? So there's nothing wrong to find some fun in life, like you go to theme park. Okay? You go to Disney, you go to Great Adventure, you go to Six Flags. Again, there is nothing wrong if you want to find some enjoyment. Enjoyment is never the problem. The problem is if you think this is the solution of your life. Okay? So number one, Solomon said, I try to entertain myself. Hopefully by a lot of fun that I can be happy. Unfortunately, he couldn't. He couldn't. Okay? So number one is pleasure. And then from pleasure, you go to the second stage. If you go to chapter 2, verse 4, that I made my work great. I build myself houses and plant myself vineyards. Okay? Building. So achievements. Accomplishments. Okay? Some people in here is more like entertainment or stimulations. Okay? Some people need that. Some people live on that. Some people go to the extreme by, that's why people do drugs. Okay? People drink, people gamble, like that. They try to find this kind of excitement. All in, put all the money in, all in. And at that time, wow, and then lost everything. That's why people are, that's why maybe you cannot understand. You're like, why would you be so stupid? Why would you put all your money in there? Why would you bet your life away? Why? Emptiness. Okay, emptiness. When I was in college, I actually went to the casino with one of my classmates. You know what? I never lost money in casino. I went with my classmate from college. Because at that time, they give you those coupons and you can go for free. The bus will take you there. You get to go for free. We aim at the free buffet. Free buffet is the reason that I went. Okay? So the free bus ride, free buffet, and my classmates say, want to go? I was like, I've never been there, never seen it. Might as well. Okay? I was in college. And they give you free bus ride, free buffet, and also a $20 coupon for you to play in the casino. Okay? So I went. Somehow, for me, gambling is not really anything bother me in terms of attracting me. So since it's the free money, I ate the buffet. I was just waiting for the returning bus because you cannot leave right away. They want you to stay there. They want you to spend money, right? So I was there. I ate the buffet. My classmate was gone. I have a few hours to spend. I cannot leave. So I figured that I have a $20 coupon. So I went to the blackjack and all in, $20, since it's not my money, right? So I won. And since then, how many years? 25 years? I never ever gamble in casino. I never play because I'm going to keep the record of I win forever. You know how many people can say that, right? How many people can say that? Oh no, yeah. Usually casino win, right? No, I'm going to win them forever. Yeah. So no, I would never ever in my entire life, I would never ever do that again, just to make sure that I keep that record. It's always, for my entire life, it's 1-0. 1-0. Raymond got 1, casino got 0. Yeah. And that 1 is also free money. Yeah. No, I'm not telling you to do that, okay? Do not go home and say, hey, pastor said go casino. No, I'm only trying to share with you what actually really happened when I was in college. So I only played one hand, and I won, and I got off. The dealer won. Another one, I was like, no. And then I went outside, sit at the lobby for like 2-3 hours, waiting for the bus. So as we were about to leave, my college classmates, he came out. Doesn't look very good. I was like, what happened? He said, I lost something. I lost a little bit. I thought I'm going to win, but I lost something. So I was like, how much did you lose? He said, not a lot, only $60. Come on, back then, 30-some years ago, $60 is a lot. Okay. So especially for poor college students. So I was like, oh yeah, you know what, you win, you lose. I did not tell him that I won and I will be the winner of a casino for the rest of my life. Okay? So I did not say anything. So we just sit there. I can feel that he was a little bit agitated. And about 10 minutes before we get onto the bus, about the time to leave, he just got up and said, I'll be right back. And he stormed back in. Less than 10 minutes later, he came out. I was like, where did you go? I thought he ran for the bathroom. He looked pretty bad. He lost all $300 that he brought with him. Again, poor college student. Back then, you have to remember in my time, a Toyota Camry is like $16,000. Now it's $40,000. Now, so anything you multiply by 3. It's very much you go in there in 10 minutes, you lost $1,000 as a college student. He came out. He said that I was just going to, I only tried to get that $60 back. No, actually he lost all the money that he brought. That's people. Always want more. This is what happens when you are controlled. That's why that you see people. How come they cannot control themselves when they gamble, when they drink? Right? So, pleasure that cannot find you satisfaction. On the contrary, we have people on the other end of the spectrum. They might be extremely have an extreme self-control. Maybe very ambitious, or shall we say very clear goal. Okay? They know exactly what they want. They know exactly what school they're going to get in. They know exactly what major they want to take. They know exactly when they graduate, what company. You know that every step of the way, they are extremely well planted. But there's a problem. Sometimes people want to find meaning of life in their life achievements. Okay? I get a diploma. That's my achievement. I am licensed. I am in Fortune 500 company. I am in certain position. I have done this. I have done that. Okay? Again, just like the pleasure, there is no so-called right and wrong. Again, you have to know that Solomon was never talk about right or wrong. Right or wrong is very subjective. Having a fun life, is there anything wrong with that? No. If you want, sell all your, my wife and I, we talk about sell everything that we have and buy an RV. Because our kids are homeschooling. So we were going to just buy an RV, drive around, and since during the pandemic, everything is online, right? I can leave servers online. Yeah, but at the end, it didn't work out. Is there anything wrong with that? I don't see anything wrong with that. I think that's a lot of fun. I think that's very interesting. Okay? I don't see anything wrong with doing something different, as long as you know what you are doing. Okay? So the problem in here, achievements is, if you want to find you want to find satisfaction, but because I did this, I did that, I am the engineer, I am the big company CEO, I am. When you have a lot of those, you might feel good. You will feel good about it, but eventually you will end up like Solomon, because at the end he asked a question that, so what? Then what? Oh, shall I say, then what? It's not so what. At the end, Solomon asked a question, then what? Then what? It means that that's why in here say, I build palaces, I build house, I build palace, I build vineyard, I have this, I have that. A lot of great achievements. Not that it is wrong. But again, if you try to find the meaning of life in those, then you will end up like Solomon. Okay? So you find in chapter 2, from enjoyment to achievement, and if you continue to verse 10. In verse 10, it gives you a summary, labor. You can find happiness. In here, if you look at verse 10, that for my heart rejoice in all my labor. Okay? So you have to remember, we say that there are 22 times. This word, labor, happened 22 times in the book of Ecclesiastes. So this is a very important topic. You are able to find happiness in the labor. Okay? But the problem is, so the labor can be about your achievement. You need a lot of money for this. Like, you know what, you are able to fly first class. You can eat one meal for $8,000. Have you ever tried $8,000 per meal? No? Okay. Maybe when you grow up. Yeah. Yeah, you have no idea. Outside world is, sometimes it's pretty crazy. So, when I was working, there was once that my boss just hand a ticket to me. I was like, what is this? He said, oh, why don't you go play golf? I was like, I don't play golf. He said, don't worry, just have fun. That ticket, $3,000. Ritz-Carlton Home Depot tournament. The only problem is I don't play. Okay? I was only in driving range, not even at the real 18 hole. I was only in driving range twice before that. And my boss said, you know what? Just talk to the financial department. Just talk to the accounting office. Go and buy the Callaway. So I was like getting like the older Callaway suit, Callaway set, And then they flew me to Florida to Ritz-Carlton. Because the boss doesn't want to go. But somebody, we pay for $3,000 per person, might as well just send somebody. So he said, you go. I said, I don't know how to play. That doesn't matter, just go eat. Well, okay, $3,000, just like that. Okay. So in here, you find labor. Yes, labor. Achievement, pleasure, it does give you. Solomon never denied the value. Okay, just like for you, study, good job, good income, have a good life. Solomon never denied the value. But the problem, if you go to 11, that in 11, then I look on all the work of my hand, on the labor I have toiled in thee, O vanity. But then you say, why? You just say happiness. Why? Why from happiness, from labor, suddenly turn into vanity? Because it goes down to next in verse 15 and 16. If you go to 15, that it happened to the fool, it happened to the wise. What happened to the fool? What happened to the wise? What will be the same thing that happened to you that happened to everyone else around you? Death. It go back to the problem of death again. It go back to the problem of you die. If you cannot solve this problem, if you cannot find the answer of this problem, it doesn't matter how happy you are in achieving, in pleasure, eventually it only ends you in sorrow. Because all these are only short, only temporal. Okay? So in here we find in chapter 2, Solomon brings two problems. In fact, he actually mentioned two because he thinks more. For you and I, we only think one. What's the point that if I die? You know, if you have $1 million in your bank, that's good amount, right? $1 million. The only problem is that you are dead. Like, would you be like in your coffin and, I got 1 million? Would you? I mean, would you be happy? I mean, you wouldn't. I mean, you'll be dead. Yeah, right. If you are dead, you are dead. So the thing is that $1 billion make no differences to the dead. In front of the fate, in front of the reality of death, money has no value. Money has no value. Okay. But for Solomon, he think a little bit more. He said, I did all this. I worked so hard. What happened to the guy after me? Why after me? He said, hey, I saved the money. I worked so hard. I become so wealthy. Now I am about to die. How is it fair for my son who did nothing and take everything from me? And then he said, that's so meaningless. And maybe my son, okay, I like my son. How about my grandson? How about my grandson? I don't even know. I never seen. What make you, why? Why did he get to enjoy all the labor of my hand? For him, because he has no control. He has no control of who will enjoy the fruit of his labor. I'm not sure if you know that there was I once ran into a situation, not a situation, I heard this when I was working. There was a boss, well, a company owner in the same field as my company. So we know each other well. He was pretty old. So he worked so hard. He toiled for like 50 years. Finally built an okay sized company. Okay? Few millionaire, few million. Not so shabby. Okay? The only thing is that after he died, his son managed to lose everything in less than 1 year. He spent 50 years, build a company, buy the houses, like properties in Irvine, in Los Angeles, like rental property. His son, who never labored, who didn't know how difficult it was for the father, that the son managed to gamble away all the houses. He lost 3 houses in one night. Gambling, it could go really fast. And then eventually lost the house, everything were gone. I mean, the son from inheriting of all those money to become nothing and broke less than 1 year. The father spent 50 years to build. The son spent less than 1 year to squander everything away because he never worked for it. And then if you were the father, still alive, if you were the father and then knew about this, how would you feel? Like you would say, what is the point of my 50 years labor? But unfortunately, when you die, you have no control who get to use. So you save, like for Chinese family, we save. But the thing is, if the children are not, if the children does not know any better, then everything that you value, everything that you work for, all the value of your life could be gone overnight. Then what's the point? That's why he keeps on saying, it's so meaningless. I built this vast empire. Who knows, my son might just, and that's the reality, right? He built such a powerful, extremely wealthy empire, but his son managed to collapse it. Easily. Lost 10 tribes, just like that. Okay. All right, so that's what we find in chapter 2. That you are unable to satisfy your heart through external factors. And we can go on to chapter 3. You have to remember that all these are just conceptual. So if you go to chapter 3, again, I assume you read it already. Chapter 3, it addressed another problem. If you look at from verse 1, about a time to be born, a time to die. Okay? So in chapter 3, it emphasizes upon time. And it gives you this sense, this concept of it happens. But what does it mean? Why did he mention about, he says a time to born, a time to die, a time to rip, a time to sow, a time. What was he trying to talk? What was he trying to say? Of course, you are able to elaborate this in many different ways. But there's one thing that Solomon wants to remind you, that it just happened. In life, things happen at its own courses. It doesn't change for you. Just like today in the morning, you want to sleep in, but the sun rises anyway, whether you like the light or not. So basically in here, of course in here, you are able to derive many different teachings. However, if you take from verse 1 to verse 8, about everything just happened. It happened as it likes to happen. And then you connect it to verse 9 and 10. From here, you go to verse 9 and 10. It tells you why Solomon said this. In verse 9 and 10, it tells you life or things in the world happen as it wishes, so that through the reality, it helps you to meditate. Perhaps through thinking, it helps you to find salvation, eternity. There are times to be born. There are times to die. There are times that you are happy. There are times that you are sad. Things in life just happen, whether you like it or not. So by slow down your steps, by thinking about everything that happened in your life, by learning that you have very little control over your future, it helps you to think, should I find a greater meaning, a higher purpose? So in chapter 3, the concept itself is actually very simple. Oh, by the way, earlier we mentioned about under the sun. This is a very important topic that it happened more than 29 times in Ecclesiastes. You will find that Solomon keep on, they mention about what is evil under the sun. What is evil under the sun? Like, you cannot change what has been done. Like generation come and generation. He tell you what are the evil. What is the evil under the sun? But he also tell you what are the values under the sun. Like in here, he will tell you that you enjoy the fruit of your labor. It tells you if you are able to eat and drink. So under the sun itself is a topic that you find throughout the entire Ecclesiastes. So you will find, enjoy the fruit of your labor, if you get to eat and drink, if you have your family, your wife, living happily with your family, with your wife. All those are the value under the sun. So topic 1, what are the evil? Topic 2, what are the value? But they only focus upon under. And topic 3, above the sun. Okay? So in chapter 3, the whole concept if you look at verse 11, chapter 3, the most important verse is in verse 11. That he made everything beautiful in its time. Also, he put eternity in their heart. Okay? So, there is a time for everything. Things happen for a reason, like it or not. But through the uncertainty of life, because yes, things happen, but you don't know when. God knows, but you don't. You don't know when you will be born. You don't know when you will die. You don't know when you will be uprooted. You don't know when you will be planted. So by looking at all the uncertainty, the time belongs to God. The time doesn't belong to you. Look through thinking, knowing about life is uncertain. Thinking about it, it gives you eternity. Because everything changes in life. You want to find something that would not change. So this is why God allows our life to be filled with all different up and downs, good and bad. It's so that you know this world is only for a moment. And by having that thought, perhaps you will want to find something above the sun. Okay? That's the concept of chapter 3. Let's open it.